How's it going, everybody? Just a quick reminder about the Light Up the Night truck run from Eatonderry to Cantor. Raising money for So Sad Ireland, Crohn's and Colitis Ireland, Limerick Treaty Suicide Prevention, Cystic Fibrosis Limerick Ward. Leaving Little Car Park in Eatonderry, 12th of April, 3 a.m. With stops at Tracy's Portlaoise and Barack Obama Plaza. Rolling stops Bird Hill, Charleville and Mallow. Planning to arrive in Cantor between 8 and 8:30 a.m. Saturday, 12th of April. Hope to see you all there.
This podcast is intended for an over 18 audience. If you are under 18,
Come on, if you bastard!
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Trucker's Bible. This week's episode we have James Conway with us for a chat. Everyone will know James from the trucking world for his truck boards. Welcome, James.
Thanks, Stephen. Thanks for having me.
No problem at all.
Fair play, lads.
Yeah.
Good job on the podcast. I'm following it from the word go. So
Thank you very much, James.
Every
Thanks,
week, well, not say every week, but every podcast you can see the progress. So it's good to see.
Are you a verified listener?
I hope so. I will be now, anyway. I'd want to be, wouldn't I?
That's a truck board James brought us this week to sponsor for the room.
Yeah, it's a gift for you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Every
Class.
Every guest that comes, we're getting more and more.
Yeah.
I don't know where we got this.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from.
It was recycled. It was being dumped.
Hey, did you ever see the video from Even Flow where he's cutting the pole for building into the pier?
Oh, jeez, yeah.
That must be the sign that he fucked in the head after he took the pole.
So tell us what you're big in the truck world for the truck boards.
Yeah.
You were up here today fitting one to my truck.
Yeah, that's your, fourth or fifth? Or?
Fourth, I think. I'm
Yeah,
nearly
yeah.
sure the first one I ever got off is down to Wallow.
True enough. It's a good story about that, Paul.
Yeah, there is indeed, yeah. At least you know the story, because I don't.
I met these boys as a group. I think that was the first time you got together as a group of friends, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
the three of us, that was the
That's
start
when
of
you
us.
initially met or whatever.
Yeah.
And Saturday, was that the year that it was wet, no?
No,
Oh,
the year
yeah.
before.
That's the year before.
We're up
yeah.
on the hill.
True enough.
But we
True
were
enough.
on it the Friday night. Do you remember drinking the poutine the Friday night?
Oh, yeah.
So then it must have been the Friday night I met you then, Stephen, was it?
No.
Saturday.
Saturday morning, but I woke up twisted.
Right.
I twisted.
That's how you remember me being there.
I
so,
just
yeah.
drank a can and I was gone again for the day again.
Anyway, we had pre-arranged with you, Stephen, to be at the show and fit a sign for you.
Yeah.
And Paul, you met me there,
Yeah.
and sure, you were having a few beers or whatever. And Sunday morning, I turned up to the door of Paul's Dory with a toolbox in one hand and a sign in the other. And Paul looked out with
Scratching
a confused
the
head on him. Yeah.
I never got a notion what was going on.
He had ordered the sign on Saturday, twisted drunk.
A great service, next day delivery.
Yeah.
And it was fitted and all in.
Fitted and all done, and delighted I got it actually now.
Yeah.
To be
That's
fair.
what I love about the shows now. I know the shoulder piece pulled out of me carrying around a toolbox, but it's great to meet people when
Yeah.
you're out.
You meet every character.
But for me, from a business side, you build up a damn rapport with people.
Yeah.
You know, you meet them, you chat to them, they get to know a bit about you.
Yeah.
And then the next time you're talking to them, oh, geez, do you remember we were talking about X, Y, or Z? The same as we're after having a story between us now.
Yeah.
And then that leads that there's a bit more acceptance of this fella. He's not just a stranger.
Yeah,
Well,
I like that.
What I liked about you that day, you get into my truck, there was pure professional
Yes.
toolbox. There was nothing messed around. I thought this was going to be a big job.
Boots the door.
Oh, she had it done in no time. Sure, what's 30 minutes?
Yeah, you timed
We
it outside.
timed it, yeah, 25 minutes.
25 minminutes.
Yeah.
In and out, job done.
And that highline Scania wouldn't be the easiest one to do. If you had a top line, it'd be actually a little faster.
yeah,
Would
yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Why,
yeah.
How's that?
Do you know the way in that one, he has 2 beds in his one.
Yeah.
I have a bit more work to feed the cable behind the sign over to where the power supply is.
Yeah.
If in a top line, the bed is up higher, so you can literally pull out the plugs out of the back panel and get your hand down behind.
Oh, yeah.
right.
I have to use the fish wire to take the cable over.
Okay.
It just takes another few minutes, that's all.
Well, 25 minutes out of the day to fit the truck board's not
Nothing
bad,
too
no.
yeah. Well, that's why I asked you to time it, Paul. That
Yeah.
if I met a customer along the road, if he was on a half an hour break,
Yeah.
I could say to him, right, if you have a top line Scania, or if you have a high line Scania, give me 15 minutes for a top line or 25 minutes for a high line.
Jeez, that's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right handy for any fella that's on the road, wants to meet
Yeah.
you on the road, take a break.
Well, there's a filling station beside me at home. Do you ever see your garage? Do you know what Virginia Transport have there? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a filling station the other side of the road from there, and you can pull in maybe 5 or 6
Yeah, yeah.
Arctics. I'd be there. Oftentimes I'd be there 3 times in the day.
Would you?
Yeah.
Lads passing.
Lad'd pass and he'd ring. He says, "I'll be there in 20 minutes. Can you come across?" Put in the sign in when he's on a 15-minute break and he's gone.
That's handy.
Yeah,
Very
it's
handy.
great. Like, yeah. And for anyone that's watching this, if you do want to sign for it, come to yours and I will put it in for free.
Don't ring him at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Though.
No, don't do that. No.
Have you done that, Stephen?
No, he was telling me outside he's getting calls off lads sitting
Yeah, well, you
outside.
see,
Really?
I only have one phone. When I set this up, I should have got a business phone for that only. But my own phone, if any of my family are ringing, I have to have it on.
Yeah.
If
How did this come about to start this, or how?
I was in Limerick studying to be a secondary school teacher. And
Teacher?
Yeah,
Yeah.
secondary school, qualified secondary school teacher. Yeah.
And you've taught, like.
I did. When I finished my 4-year degree, I had a new baby in my 4th year, and she came into the world. I completed me. She was born the 19th of September. I went back into college that week to do my 4th year in college. In fairness to her mother, I have to hold my hands up. She done everything with her for that year. She done a fantastic job with her, and we have a lovely wee lassie because of it.
No.
I did my 4th year in college, and when I finished there, I applied for a job in the college. So
Yeah.
I was basically teaching the teachers that were coming on behind me.
Stop.
So the TR system, you have your lecturer and you have your teaching assistants and then the students. So I was the teaching assistant in the middle. So I was teaching in the labs. So if you're studying to be a woodwork teacher, you have to show your skills. And the lecturer sets the task. I was the one in the classroom to get the students to do it and to encourage them how to do it correctly or whatever, to be an example as a teacher. And then that's the role I filled. So I worked on that for 2 years.
And what were you teaching then?
Woodwork and tech graphics.
Woodwork tech,
Yeah. So
They're
in
two
my
nice subjects.
they're 2 lovely subjects. Yeah. But
I was raised, my secondary school didn't have woodwork.
No, we take graphics though. You were in the secondary.
I was in the secondary, yeah, and sure.
I thought every school had to have wood and tech. No.
not every school does.
Oh, don't they?
No.
They have woodwork in there now.
Yeah, oh yeah, the year I was leaving to start
Was that when
building,
it started?
the woodwork classroom.
Right.
Oh, fuck this.
And what type of school was it, Stephen?
Secondary school was just standard
Well,
secondary.
it wasn't a religious school.
Um,
Was it a vocational school or what?
what is the difference?
Well, you have a vocational school which would traditionally have been a technical
Oh,
school.
that's tech. Yeah, we have the tech in them. I
Oh, yeah,
suppose.
just tech up the road and then secondary at
yeah.
the bottom of the
So
road.
the woodwork was definitely in the tech.
Oh yeah, well,
metalwork
yeah.
and
and
woodwork.
metalwork. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have loved to have done metalwork and woodwork.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate. Just
It's the way it
Yeah,
is.
the way
Yeah.
the-
I presumed every school had that.
No.
Yeah.
But did you fall out of love with the teaching then, or why
Well,
did you stop?
I didn't fall out of love with the teaching because when I was in my first year working in the college, that was the winter of 2014, going into 2015. I did that full first year, and my daughter was small, and her mother was back to college. And then, what's this way did it work? Yeah, she was in 3rd year. That was my first year working there. And then my 2nd year working there, I met a fella called Conor Fenton. Do you know from I?
Don't know him now.
I brought the hat here. Fenton
Oh
Commercials.
yeah.
He was there as well. He studied to be a school teacher too. What was that, lad?
I think the chairs on the way out.
Oh,
I'm on a bad chair for a big man like that. I'm not joking.
Would you think Stephen would have given you that one?
I offered it. He said, "No, I'm good." He was
yeah,
keep-
right.
I have to buy a chair.
We'll keep going till you.
Anybody want to donate me a fucking chair?
Yeah. But no, Conor was there in my 2nd year teaching there. He was also a teaching assistant, and he was selling airbag kits for vans at the time
All right.
as a kind of a side thing. And I seen him and I said, "Jeez, now what would I do to try and generate a bit more income?"
Yeah.
Because the teaching is grand, but like you wouldn't be made up on it either. Like, and sure, I wanted to build a house by 30 years of age, and I had all these goals in my head. I said,
Yeah.
"I'll try and do it," you know. And
Sorry, James, this is a thing, you know.
there was a laser engraver in the college,
Yeah.
and I had used it during the course of my own degree.
Yeah.
And I decided to put on a few bits and pieces on it a few evenings and see how it worked and try and learn the ways of it. Between one thing and another, the fact that I was working there, I accidentally got a master key for the building one night.
You cut one out.
Accidentally. It worked out that the laser engraver, I put on a job on it one evening at 10 to 6
Yeah.
with the intention of having it on at 6 o'clock when the lad that had the key for the building told me to lock up. And I kind of said it up. I says, "Oh, jeez, I'm after putting a job on the machine. Will I turn it off?" "No, Jim," he used to call me. Jim, leave it. Here's my key. Give it to me in the morning."
Idea.
And I had looked up already. Woody's was open till 7 o'clock. So as soon as he disappeared, I knew which car he drove. Headed for Woody's, got a key made. The man handed me the key out. He says, "All right, kid, that key is not right, boy. Whatever blank he had was the wrong blank
Right.
for making the copy.
Oh, jeez.
Too long. So he handed it to me for free. I was delighted. So the bones of it anyway, I'm back to the fucking key. Stuck it on the door, didn't work. And I twiddled at it and eventually got it open. About 3 weeks later, the key I had for the office where I had a little corner of an office when I was teaching in the college. Stuck the wrong key in the door and it also opened that door.
Oh.
And then I went and I checked another door. And another door, and I had a key for the fucking building.
Basta.
By pure mistake. So that's the good luck that I had to start off. So I used to go in at night. I'd do my full day's work. Well, now teacher, full day.
Yeah.
Start at 9 o'clock, in till about 5 o'clock. Go home, get me wee lassie sorted. Her mammy was still in college at the time.
Yeah.
She'd be home at night out of the library at 10 or 11 o'clock when it closed at night. She'd have her work done. She'd go home, get something to eat, and go to bed. And then I'd go back to the college at 11 at night.
Fuck.
Right, and there was a lecturer called, better not say his name on the podcast. No. He used to go to the gym in the morning at 6 o'clock, and I'd go at about 5:30.
You been there all night?
The whole night.
What,
Jeez.
cutting out?
Making signs.
Fuck.
Making signs. That's how I set myself up. I made the signs with a
It
machine.
was first that type of sign, was it? No.
That glass one there, that engraved glass sign, that's the type I was making initially.
And,
So
and they had the engraver, had they? For
they had an engraver. It was basically for showing students how to use technology. The theory behind it was in woodwork or metalwork, you know the way you use files and saws
Yeah.
and that. It's all a fairly manual subject. But like when you leave and go to industry, it's not a manual.
It's all computer.
It's all computerized.
Yeah.
So the easiest way of training students, give them an introduction to what that is with 3D printers and laser engravers. And they had both of them in the college. And I just made use of the laser engraver.
Took full advantage.
And what
of
were you
it.
doing? Just stocking up on standard signs?
No, I was taking orders and
You were ordering it.
engraving proper company logos and everything. Yeah.
And the materials were coming from...
School.
Tipperary.
Or you were
I
bringing
was-
your own
I
supply?
was getting glass in from Tipperary.
Was to be a special glass to be.
Yeah, it's
to
toughened
engrave-
glass. The same as what's in your windscreen. Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
So the
okay.
theory, it won't break.
Yeah.
And did
Right.
you start out with the trucks originally, or were you?
Always trucks.
It was the first thing was the trucks, like.
Yeah, always trucks. So I did that from when was it? Probably Christmas time until June when we finished our contract in June. And Full of the Pipe was on in Cavan. It was the last year I was in Cavan.
Oh, yeah.
That was in June. And I went on a boat that night. I literally hadn't a pot to piss in. Like, I had nothing left. I bought a car and at one point I had a tenner in my account. That's all I had to be named. Like, and a wee lassie at home a couple of months old.
Jesus.
Anyway, madness. But I went over to England, I bought a machine, and I got a lift. This is how bad it was. I got a lift with one of the boys leaving the show, going back to England. Literally got into the lorry with him in Virginia, and he brought me on the boat to Holyhead. And in Holyhead, he let me out. This is in the middle of the fucking night. I says, I'll make my own way. I'll get trained where I needed to go, because I was only going over to be trained to buy my machine. They were giving me kind of a rundown how to use it.
Yeah.
He let me out, and I was ready to shut the door, and he says, "Hello, are you going to be all right here?" Because like I had told him on the way over, never in England, never off the boat.
Go away.
Literally, he let me out at the fucking roundabout in Holyhead. I could go find my own way. Like.
We had you far to go.
I had to go to fucking Manchester.
Sure, he was probably go up that way.
No, he wasn't. He was going elsewhere. Yeah.
So,
So I I got the train to Manchester, and then another little town a little further over. Got a taxi or whatever. Got me training on the machine. I didn't fly home. I went home with someone else on the boat. That's what it was. Got another lift back home on the boat. Free of charge. Jump in behind the bunk. This is pre-Brexit. You could do it.
Yeah.
Remember that cracking on. And when I got home and all, I rang Virginia Transport, one of the lads that runs it. He was one of the directors originally.
yeah.
And he said to me, yeah, no bother, we'll sort that, we'll get it home for you. It was a crate with the machine. And it landed back a few days later. And went over to collect it with a van and trailer. And I said to Sean, what about you? He says, in the 40s or the 50s, he says, I'm not sure exactly when, your grandfather was home on a visit from England. And he brought my father to England with him and got him set up. So there's the favour repaid.
Wow.
Stop.
That was
More
well
luck.
done, yeah.
No
More
way.
luck in your...
So that was two major things that got me set up, yeah.
Yeah, just that's mad.
Unbelievable.
And you were just, when we were out in the lorry there putting in the light board, you're telling me your grandfather, they were driving trucks. It's in your family, like.
Yeah, he had lorries. Well, he originally had tractors and trailers collecting cans of milk.
Yeah.
So they were farmers and he milked a few cows.
Do you have a license?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
You was driving, you were telling me there were low loaders. You were
Yeah, during COVID I done a bit of a load of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, go away.
And I drive. My brother still has a milk lorry with Lakeland Dairies, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
so
drive
it's
it
in the gene,
part
like
in.
it's...
Who's the friend we with you? Is he your cousin? To be at the
Yeah,
show the joy.
Terence.
He's
Yeah,
your cousin.
Yeah, he was
Fierce
supposed to be here today.
Oh, go away.
He's after meeting a woman.
Oh, nice chap.
He's a lovely fella.
Yeah.
He's actually my wee fella's godfather.
Oh, go in.
Yeah.
Is he a truck driver as well?
No, he actually worked with me for a summer now. When I say worked, like it was unofficial. He done a bit of work experience. So if the revenue are watching, it was unpaid work experience. No, he was at college at the time, and he done a year. Not say a year. He done a summer with me, probably 3 months, or whatever time he had off, just to get me going. And yeah, he comes to the shows since he enjoys the bit of crack, and so he knows people like you.
Yeah,
like,
he knows
get to
everyone.
know people.
Yeah.
He's
Go
a
back,
good.
back to
gentleman.
there when you got the machine home. What went on then?
I put it in my mother's garage, and it's a glorified shed for sticks. That's all it is.
Like a tour shed or...
It's 15 foot by 15 foot, and that's what I work out of.
Still.
Well, we're building a house at the minute, so I was lucky. I inherited the farmland 4 years ago. My family bought it, and they put it into my name because my father passed away 12 and a half years ago now. And the land that he had, my brother is now farming it. So he had left some money aside to buy another place for me, or for Niall, or whoever didn't have the home place.
Yeah.
Right.
So we bought a place, and I have a shed now at that house
Walking
as
out
well.
there now.
I will, not just yet, but I will be.
And have you still got that machine?
Yeah, that's the original machine. Yeah.
That's still making the boards.
Yeah.
Jeez.
€500. There was 2 laser tubes had to go into it. That's all it cost me in 9 years.
Is it paid for now, do you think?
Oh, I'd say just about. As my father used to say, he had an FL10 collecting milk in the early 2000s, and sure it was a second-hand lorry that he bought and stretched into a rigid. It was a tractor unit, and he used to, lads would say to him, "Jeez, that lorry owes you nothing." You know, he probably had it 10 years at this stage. He says there's a few payments on it yet. Oh, yeah. What'll you do then? I suppose you'll buy a new one. He says I'll tax it. So, yeah, no, he was a great man. He definitely taught me how to manage money.
Your father?
Yeah.
Cavan, it's in your blood.
No, but he was a great man to make money. He made money. He when he was a young man, he started off operating a business that he inherited. But it wasn't just in great health, the business.
Yeah.
We'll put it like that. And he turned it around, and he left the price of a farm of land behind him.
Wow.
That's a
Superman.
good leg up to get in life.
Yeah, now, unfortunately, the man, he passed away
Yeah.
young. He was only 49, so
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
it's a shame
But-
he didn't get a bit more life. But
Yeah,
he
sure.
left a great legacy behind him.
Yeah.
Human.
You'll surely, if you do go down the road of a truck, you'll probably put a memorial thing of him on the back
Definitely.
of it. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
I always think they're nice touches.
Yes.
Was it Furlong's there, Sean Furlong this week? Someone, who's your man that does the airbrush in Ireland now?
Oh, there's
See,
a few lads.
Stevens have it on there already.
Yeah,
There's
Jesus.
one fella in
class.
Wexford, Sean Egan. He's fantastic. In it.
Oh, yeah.
He's very, very good.
I think they're lovely touches, memorials.
Yeah.
Especially like what you're saying, he taught you so much how to manage money.
Yeah.
Now he's at the back of your truck, like.
There's a lovely photograph of my father. I'd say it's a year or two before he died. He was at a local event in our parish, and
Yeah.
there was a professional photograph taken of him, but he was drinking a mug of tea, and he just looked up at the camera like that.
Oh, fuck, nice.
And it just
In the moment.
it captured him as who he was.
Yes.
He wasn't posing. And if ever I get a lorry and the back of it,
That'll be
that
it.
that's
picture.
what's on it. That photograph in black and
We
white.
look out
yeah,
for it whenever that day comes.
Watch this space,
Yeah.
did you? Huh?
I think what you got, Martin Ryan's so lovely. And every back of the truck, he taught me things only known to kings.
I never saw that.
Yeah, if we look at the back, I think that's I might it's something like that anyway, but it's on every back of every one of the trucks.
That's a nice logo
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
lovely touch.
Yeah.
So it is, yeah.
Should never noticed that now.
Did you ever hear that song, the Sunshine song? Or is it the Sunscreen song? Do you know that one?
Oh, yeah,
Is
No, no, Don's great with songs now. Let Don.
What's his name? What's his?
Is he Baz Luhrmann?
Baz Luhrmann.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the man. That's
You
the
listen
man.
to that as a motto to life. Part of it is respect your elders. They taught you everything you know.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Do you know, that's the one thing, the generation, and that's another part of, I'm not saying why I left teaching, but
I'd
look
say
at-
it's hard now.
The tram's coming up.
not so much that. No, the kids are lovely. Like when I was telling you the bones of my teaching career, like I taught for 3 full years, if you want to say that. 2 of them were in the university in Limerick, where I was spoiled because I had a free machine for making these.
You're making a fortune out of it under.
Well, I wasn't making a fortune, but I set myself up.
You were getting going.
I didn't borrow money to buy me machine.
yeah.
So I had it paid for before I bought it, and that's something my father taught me. If you want something, make the money first.
Yeah.
Do not borrow it, because if you make it, you don't pay any interest.
As a wise man said to me, don't be a borrower, don't be a lender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely a good motto to follow. But
That was Michael Buckley
Definitely
rock
not a
chapel.
lender on you. Often in the pub down are stuck for 20 Newton.
he wouldn't
Oh.
give
I
you.
wouldn't have it.
That's what the lad had said. It doesn't lend.
But you were asking about the teaching. I taught in Clonus then for a year after that. So when I moved home and I had my own machine, I moved to the school in Clonus. And a lovely part of the world, I have to say. Like, people talk about Clonus, bandit country, border country, you know, all this bullshit. Like, the best kids in the country come from Clonus. And I'd hold my hand up and say that. Like, there's some of them now that I'm still in contact with. There's one young man, he went off and he trained to be an apprentice electrician with his dad. And I do meet him at the shows, and I do always love to see him because I'm part of his life. I can say I had some influence on him.
Some section of his life you were involved in.
Yeah, and he's in his mid-20s now. He probably is fully qualified. He probably has his own car, no money borrowed on it.
Yeah.
And he's getting towards a bit of savings to either buy or build a house.
Yeah.
And I have to say that I contributed to that. I'd like to think,
you could, It's kind of something similar we were saying with Noel here, that we can build in the sheds. He was part of it. You feel You feel a sense of pride.
Yeah, pride. You can see the result of your work.
Yeah.
But the teaching, look at, it was grand. Look at, some students want to work, some don't. That's the nature of life. But the one thing I found was parents are a huge problem.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I had one particular student, and she was finished all the exam papers she could ever ask for. She literally had everything done. And she says to me, how do you think I'm getting on? And she was all worried. I said, just settle. You have it nailed. All you need to do is sit the actual exam now. This was probably in April, and she says to me, what'll I do with myself from now on? And I said, see, Johnny sitting beside you, he's not in the same position you're in.
Yeah.
So try and help him. This went on for a few days. She was setting out exam questions for him, if you want to say. He was delighted.
And she was probably gaining from that as well.
She was.
Yeah,
She wasn't only learning it, she was actually teaching it.
Yeah.
She was learning more from teaching him than she was from trying to study by rote learning herself.
Yeah.
Because she had to think of ways of explaining to him that she hadn't already thought of.
Yeah.
She had it normalised in her own head by rote learning, by just reading it and repeating it over and over and over to herself. But the fact that he didn't understand it the same as she did, she had to come up with an alternative way of understanding it.
Yeah.
So straight away she had two perspectives on it.
She had 2 terms of learning it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when she sat on the exam, if she couldn't remember what she wrote learned, she might remember the way she taught him. And to me, it was a fucking no-brainer.
Yeah.
She was a guarantee A.
That was good from your point as well, like to push her to do that. Because
Yes, but from a teacher's perspective, I had 20-something other students.
Yeah.
If I could let her off, knowing that she was complete with me, I had my job done.
She's looking after him and there's 18 left.
Yeah, but there's actually,
True,
there was less because she was taking care of him as well. 2 or 3 days later, the vice principal came to the door. I says, how are we getting on? No bother, I'll stand in there, the big clownish man. I'll stand in there in your classroom for 5 minutes. You just run up there to the canteen. Big open plan canteen, I says. Why? No explanation as to what it was about. There's a parent wants to see you. Up I went to the canteen, sat down. This lady across from me, I recognised her from the parent-teacher meetings because the leaving certs had 2 of them that year. And she says, you're telling my lassie to teach one of your students. Why don't you do your own fucking job?
Oh, jeez.
So I
It
said,
was your one's parents.
Jeez.
so I explained to her why I was doing it. She didn't see my perspective. You're being fucking paid to do a job. Do your fucking job. She got up and she left. No good luck, fuck you nothing.
Jesus.
I'm not saying she's right, but she does have a point.
But she didn't take it all into context.
Yeah, no, she didn't think of the bigger picture, but the woman still had her
I
kind of point.
know that.
Do you know,
But I tried to defend myself.
She have
And
to
she
defend
didn't
herself.
listen.
I thought she should have been proud that her
her
young
daughter's done so well.
daughter was actually helping
Well,
someone.
I was proud of her daughter.
You know?
Yeah.
Because she was a great lassie. And I said it to her one time. I met her in a shop. She was working in a shop since. And I met her and I said, do you remember what you done for that lad in the class? I said, fair play to you.
Yeah.
Just to compliment her again.
You'd wonder maybe, did the daughter go home, sit at the table and be like, oh, geez, I'm teaching lads down the class, and the parents just straight away,
Yeah.
what do you mean you're teaching? You're
That's,
in there to learn
that's the
yourself."
bit that wasn't explained to me. I didn't understand it complete because I didn't get the full story from her. I didn't know whether she was annoyed because the young lassie had been asked to do it and she felt nervous,
Yeah.
or whether the mother felt she should have been focusing on her studies.
Yeah, but as you said, the parents are a lot the
problem.
Well, that was the day I told myself I'm not coming back teaching.
That stopped a
That was
bit.
enough then for you.
That was the day I said, fuck this shit. Because I was doing my signs at the same time.
Yeah.
And in my head, if I had to keep my signs going, I could have had an extra income. And if I had to keep my teaching going, I had a pension.
Yes.
And I had my summers off to do all the shows.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
that day, look at my contract was running out at the end of that school year anyway. But I didn't go looking for another job.
And do you miss it?
No,
No.
not at all. Into that environment and constant stress and pressure.
So are you full time?
Full time at this, yeah.
And you're
And
an organic farmer as well, aren't you?
Yeah, do a bit of farming as well, and I joined the organic scheme, as you say, 3.5 years ago.
Chickens.
Not yet.
That's
I was
the
telling you
plan.
about outside, that's the
Yeah,
plan, yeah.
When
trying
you
to
say
put up a chicken
organic
house.
farming, what do you?
No spray, no fertiliser, and better animal husbandry.
What animals do you have?
Cows. Cows at the minute. I'm probably going to get a few sheep this summer to try and
What do you use for fertilising the ground?
dung and slurry.
That's it.
You can import extra dung, you see. So if I need more slurry, if my cattle don't provide enough, I can bring it in from other farms.
Where just buy it off another farmer,
Oh,
or
sure, you wouldn't need to buy it.
want to get rid of it?
They're mad to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Dairy farmers will drop it with you for free. Like, yeah.
What's that mushroom
Pig, and
compost?
pig farm as well, don't they? No.
I'm
Is
not
it
allowed
high-
pig farm slurry because
sludge.
pig farming is intensive farming, and it's a big no-no in terms of the organic thrust. Well, the organic principles,
Okay.
because they are indoors, they never see daylight, and they're fed genetically modified food.
Yeah.
Well, not to say that they are fed genetically modified grain, but the potential is there for inclusion of genetically modified
We need
grain.
Shane Mack on.
He'd clarify, yeah.
He'd clarify, I don't know.
Yeah.
And how many cows do you have?
Or the
I've only 11 cows at the minute.
Okay.
Yeah, but like that, I grow a bit of grain as well, and
yeah.
try and be self-sufficient. You know, me namesake James Conway in Sligo.
Yeah.
That's my plan. Only I just don't have a podcast.
You can have one.
I want to have my own chicken house. I want to have my own vegetables, my own meat. Self-sufficient.
Yeah.
I want my own grain. I want sheep. I want cattle. I want pigs. Claire, my wife, wants ducks. I don't know what that's about.
Hey, there's a big shortage of duck eggs.
Do you think so? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Can't
never
get
read.
them.
I never read.
He has them all it.
Can't.
Every morning there's a duck egg.
Yeah.
Big ones.
They're huge and they're savage, but you can't get them.
Are they nice?
Yep.
They are nice.
Yeah,
There you
there's
go.
more strong taste.
I
do
don't
not
know
tell
why.
Claire
I
that.
said I think when I was younger, my grandfather was mad for him. We had ducks and hens.
Yeah.
Right.
Where am I park my truck now?
Yeah.
That was all. There was actually a duck pond and everything. And
Right.
did you see it? There's a wee little shed there.
Yeah.
That was the hen house. The little things and the small hatch in the door. Something going out.
And
And there was little boxes inside.
you didn't like the duck egg?
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm kind of afraid of the fucking. Because I do like it.
Probably got through at you.
I don't know. Like I just.
It's an egg, you know.
Did you ever have an experience with a duck as a child? Did it run at you or something?
I'd say he did.
No,
I
but
got locked in the hen. It's worse with the hen. The ducks are grand. I like the ducks.
Hey,
But
is it because you're friends with duck?
Oh, yeah. I suppose the image of an egg coming out of his ass.
you definitely wouldn't eat that one. Though.
I don't know. I don't know what the thing is about against the duck egg. Actually, it's kind of fucking strange.
There you go. Yeah.
Go back to the organic thing there.
Yep.
You're just when you said your own podcast. Is there podcasts in that life, is like the organic life?
I don't know about the organic side. There is an organic podcast, but
Yeah.
look, I'm in the organic scheme for one main reason, right? What do you think it is?
Grant.
Grant. Exactly. Because the bit of land that I farm, I only have it 4 years.
Yeah.
And like that, when I moved in, there was old sheds on it. They're good sheds, but they need upgrading. All the fences need to be upgraded. All the land needed to be drained and reseeded and whatever else you
And
want.
there's all grants for that.
Not for all of it, but like my organic payment is to the tune of 8,000 a year, and it's 8,000 that you wouldn't have from farming it.
Yeah.
Like you've a lot of work to do to get
Yeah.
8,000 out of a piece of land to farm it.
What's the goal? How many animals? Or
15 suckler cows, produce their own calves, keep them all to fattening, try and time the calving of them year round so that I have an animal ready, roughly one or two a month, or try and have an animal a month. Beef boxes, eggs, lamb, grain,
Yeah.
bread.
So you want to do a bit like the
Long term, I want to build a
long
wee-
acre,
I'd
Morris.
but I want to build a little farm shop and everything long term.
Nice.
That's what I love in England is them farm shops.
Yeah.
They are class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of them popping up around Ireland now. Farms,
There's none around here.
produce. Is there not one in Longwood there? They're
Longwood?
Farm Foods.
Yeah, but they're more like say you
But
go
they're
to
not
the ones
buying
in
in
England.
produce, are they?
But say the ones in England, they can only be 20 kilometres around. That's the
I don't
they
know
use the
the
produce.
exact science behind it
And
now, but
it'd be like a normal shop, but the meat there, the grains there, the honey, the jams, like it's savage food.
yeah.
Yeah, they'd
Like
be
the
probably
Kildare
better.
Farm is like a Tesco, like a smaller version
Is
of
it? I was never in it.
Yeah.
But there's one in Longwood there as well. It's meant to be unbelievable. everything's real fresh and proper.
Oh, it's class. I used to love
difference in it.
through England, picking
Nice
up meat
little
from
product there
everything.
for your little farm shop. Look how
Ah,
they does.
Yeah.
True enough, yeah.
We'll keep you stocked up with that.
Do that.
That's it. just
Handmade, handcrafted.
It popped into my head there. Says, why don't you do, if you get going with your organic, do a podcast and call it the Chicken
You
House?
could
or
do,
something.
yeah.
Chicken House
The only
podcast.
problem is the James Conway podcast is already taken.
No, Chicken House podcast.
Chicken House.
Yeah, you could do something like that.
Chicken
yeah.
Coop.
You know what? I'd actually love to get on to James Conway's podcast
Yeah.
because what he's doing, I think he's just way ahead of himself. And in a way, he's not. He's copying what maybe his granddad or people in the past would have done.
Mm.
Like my grandfather had chickens and eggs and pigs and everything. You know,
Yeah.
We're the same.
but every house is the same. At
Yeah,
what point did we lose that?
Oh, she's dribbed out
That's
there.
actually a good
Years.
point. That's actually.
Do you know what I mean?
Over the years, sure. And
But
what stopped it was the supermarkets.
Multinational supermarket.
Yeah.
Like my mother sent me a text this morning. There's a local Super Value in Virginia, belongs to the McAvoy family.
Yeah.
That's who had it as long as I'm around. And she has heard last night at a social dance that Tesco's taking over.
Stop.
So that's English company coming in. Not good, like.
Money out.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
I think so.
but then there's a way to look at the government or have tax on everything that they're selling. They're getting.
That's probably another thing that's going to stop a lad like me from actually getting going, because if you set up your farm shop, straight away you need your health and safety.
Yeah.
You need, if you have a kitchen in it for producing it and it's cooked. There's
Yeah.
so much regulation.
Should look at Jeremy Clarkson.
Gosh, it's cruel.
And that's
And
the
that's-
truth of what he went through to get the shop open. Like, it was torture for him.
torture.
Was it?
Did you not watch that Clarkson's Farm?
I should try to watch. I was too busy to fall asleep.
Same story.
But like him, even to set up a restaurant, like, the government and everyone was just against him.
yeah. From the word go, it was no.
Yeah,
Wouldn't allow
and
it.
he just kept going.
Yeah,
Like, it made good television for him. Like, it worked, but
It did, but
it showed the red tape that was involved in everything he wanted to do. Like, even have a car park, anything. Like, it was just torture for him.
A lot of people don't like him over in England as well.
Yeah, I think he's brilliant.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah,
always
I
did.
really like him.
look at, you know as well as anyone, but no man is a prophet in his own land.
Yeah, that's true.
No man is a
that's
prophet.
true.
Because
That's true.
I can name a few drivers around me at home within an ass's roar, as my father used to say, of home, that have signs from somebody else.
Yeah, but I suppose he made his land work and
You know.
make profit out of it because of Amazon.
Yeah,
He sold the television program and he's definitely making a fortune out of it.
of course,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's where he
And
made his
as he
profit.
says himself on his own telly, if things go wrong, he can just go to Manchester and make another Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah,
Because he has
Yeah,
contract.
yeah.
He has
Yeah.
an external income that he can plough into the farm if he needs to. The very same as me. This year I finished, I think it's 2 kilometres of sheep fencing. The farm didn't pay for it.
Your own pocket.
Them fucking signs
Yeah.
paid for it.
Yeah.
Do you know?
But still, is that good to be mixing the two businesses?
Kind of have
Well,
to.
from a personal point of view, I have an 11-year-old daughter. If she wants to go out in a year's time or 2 years' time and bring 50 sheep off a field, she'll do it herself.
Yeah.
Because the field is
Fenced
fenced.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
That's my thinking on it.
Yeah.
Like,
And,
I-
was there no grant for that? Or you're not eligible enough
there
yet?
is grants, but you jump through hoops and you do it to a spec that's extreme. I done it the way I wanted it done.
Yeah, so
You
better
know.
off just
I
come
think
out
so.
and go and
I
pay
think
for
so.
yourself. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
A lot of lads be like that, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be too fussy.
Yeah.
Contractor that done it with me, he's a neighbour of mine, and he'd tell you the same. Looking out the back, he's driving the post and the post driving, I'm driving the tractor. And everyone, he's holding a level to it. And as soon as he says, right, we're done, give it another check there with the level. You
Yeah.
know, I'd be too fussy like that, you know.
Yeah.
But,
But Andy, you were telling me out there, you're building a house in a minute.
yeah, nearly there.
Nearly there.
Don't do that.
Build a house.
Buy a house.
Yeah.
Buy a house, yeah.
Just I kind of in that boat now in a minute, we don't know what to be doing.
Donald Bourne, go down to Donald Bourne, talk to him
Yeah.
first anyway.
Yeah, well look,
Way
there's,
to go.
there's
Definitely way to go. But I do think Donald Byrne's houses are the way
I
to
think
go.
so,
And
definitely.
smaller. I think people are fixated with massive
houses,
houses.
Yeah.
I think it's madness. Nice, small, with little. I think a smaller house with more little, like
Nooks and
Modern
crannies
bits.
in it.
jacuzzi and sauna.
Yeah.
You know, little
Oh,
things.
features, yeah.
Features.
Yeah.
Don't be. You know, I think that's the
Yeah.
way. And I back in the day, we did build a house. You know,
Yeah.
but in Salter House, Bonner House, in the house. Do you know? But
Life took its course.
the
That's what they call
smaller
that.
house is the way to go.
It's easier heated anyway, yeah. Look at our house, we built it and people dug up the stairs in our house and they say, where's your ensuite bathroom? And I says, what, another toilet to have to wash? Or to clean?
Yeah.
Or a mirror to clean? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like there's one bathroom upstairs and there's one downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's 2 bedrooms downstairs and 3 upstairs. And it might
Madness.
sound that's a huge fucking house. It's not that big. But it's practical, and the way we laid it out, I knew the length of a piece of timber to get from the hardware before I went planning the house. I didn't design the house around big extravagant ideas. I said, right, what can I get cheap? As in one length of timber rather than buying two to only use one and a bit.
Yeah.
You know that kinda,
yeah.
And look, at people are not putting enough effort into
Did
it.
you design your house around the length of timber as in the hardware?
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
Yeah.
And we got a truss roof.
But that's
and-
smart. That's smart.
That's really good thinking.
yeah, but it's simple things like that are not.
That's the
Save
Cavan
money.
now coming out.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not.
He went into the hardware now with the tape.
Fuck you.
He said there was going to be.
It's the truth, like you weren't going to waste 10 centimeters of fucking wood.
But you know what I mean? Like,
Even if we got a bit of heat over in the fire, still waste the money.
and it hit you twice because you had to cut it and then.
See the way it's all there?
Oh Jesus! That's what I love about cutting firewood. You're fucking roasted cutting it with the chainsaw. Then you have to split it by hand because I'm too mean to buy a fucking log splitter. And you never get time to sit it burning inside, you know.
Hey, did the school not have a log splitter? You go in and use their log
Oh
splitter,
fuck
no?
that. No, it's the only thing it didn't have to do.
No, but the house. What stage at?
What stage we're at? We're about 92% of the way there. Is the exact percentage. I'd
Probably
say.
the last percentage now will drag on the longest.
No, it'll not.
Will
But
it?
some of the process up to this point, and
The inside, when you go and build your house,
when you move inside, it's a pain in the fucking bollocks.
it's all grand go up and we're ahead of budget here, but once you go into the inside, it fucking swallows
Yeah.
it.
But there's one particular
Tiles, kitchens.
Well, there's one particular trade that I had an awful hassle with. And like that, I had two different companies, or men, if you want to say that came in and done their work, and they both rubbed their fucking hole in it.
Yeah.
In certain ways. The first lad was extremely good at his work, but just very hard to commit to doing it. And the second fellow was great to commit, but not as good at it.
Oh, yeah.
And the result I now have is I have a decorator coming to flush fill walls in the house.
Plaster.
Well, more or less replaster the house with filler and do the entire wall. And he has to come in. He's coming hopefully this week now. So he has to come in. He has to key the walls because there's some paint on the walls. It's like a base coat. When we put the base coat on, we could see waves in the plaster.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's only when you put the paint on you see
Yeah,
these things.
fuck it.
Jeez, the first bright morning, Steve and I drove in down the lane in the front door, and I said, "Oh fuck me, look at the mess." And it was
Stairs.
ceilings, walls, you name it, everything.
Up along the stairs.
Everything.
That's
Everyone.
There's a fella down our way called Wavy Davy.
Yeah, well, I don't know what pronoun
Plaster.
I'd give this other lad now, but yeah.
Tell me, what heating system did you go with?
Oil. Because oil is their proven technology. There's 40, 50 years of proven technology. The oil is in the tank. It's sucked in by the boiler.
Yeah.
Or if it's on gravity feed, whichever way you do it.
yeah.
It's blown in with a jet. It burns. The heat goes in, heats the water. You have a warm house.
Yeah.
And in the future, if you have a thing called HVO, which is the next replacement for it, do you know this hydrogenated vegetable oil?
Yeah.
You see all the fucking Circle K lorries say that the lorry is running off.
Yeah,
Not at all. It's running on white diesel. But hydrogenated vegetable oil, the only modification you have to do in your boiler is change the jet. And it's
Different
about
like Jeff for injecting.
it's about a tenner. Like it might be more, but it's tiny money. You don't
is
have to
small,
replace the
fucking-
system. I have a sister-in-law that she built a house with a heat pump. It's a good job. You have instant heat. But I know I've heard of loads of people with a heat pump and oh fuck it, quit working.
Quit stopped. Yeah,
And
yeah.
what do you
But
do?
houses have to be 100% airtight, and the pumps are running 24/7.
More or less, yeah.
So as you've no oil bill, but you have a massive ESP bill.
Massive. I've
And
seen ESP
is
bills.
fucking crazy now.
Yeah.
And then, where were these people in? Well, I thought it's still with no power. You wouldn't, but it takes ages then to. If it's out for, if the ESP is out for 3 or 4 days,
Yeah, the heat takes us so
build
long
it
to
up again.
rebuild.
to,
Yeah.
to do
But
circulation.
The storm
Yeah.
just gone by. More people out ESP a few days. Their systems
Madness.
giving bother now. And
Madness, yeah.
we had a plumber in, put in new burner last week. He's telling me he's out the door. He says that
Course,
storm
yeah.
upset everyone's systems.
Yeah, we also have 2 stoves in the house then.
Yeah, you can't bet the stove.
Well, like a farm of land is always going to have fallen timber.
Yeah.
You don't have to go out and cut a tree to have firewood.
And when times like what
Yeah,
happened,
yeah. You'll always.
you live fucking a fire.
Like there's 2 ash trees down in our farm
And
there
there's
at the
2
minute.
stoves there. You can heat a bit of water on top of
Course.
it. You can boil a kettle. You can cook
Yeah.
on top
Yeah,
of it.
yeah. If you were badly stuck, you
Yeah.
could put a pan on top of it.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
If
Oh,
you were
yeah.
that badly stuck,
Yeah.
Definitely.
you could put like practically a house with children in it, like our house. Put a pot of water in it.
For
Yeah.
cleaning bottles and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boiling water is all you need, like.
And there-
That's what's missing in this country nowadays. Practicality.
But like,
Yeah.
to go back to
Yeah.
the James Conway man in Sligo, generator, stoves, firewood,
Yeah.
practical countryman.
yeah.
And like it's all grand, convenient. Move into a town, you buy a house, you flick a switch, you have instant heat. But sure, what happens when there's a storm?
I should. When the last storm, the people outside electric car outside, dead, right? No heating, no fireplace inside.
And then Eamon Ryan coming out saying,
Yeah,
"Oh,
charge.
the electric car is great. You could run the house on
Yeah.
it."
How the fuck do you go
Yeah,
with the car then?
you're completely.
Now, I was saying that to you, or Paul, I was saying it to you when I drove down, like this countryside with the peat bogs and all the industry that was here. I know this has been covered in fucking years and years and years, but it's a fucking disgrace. Because a lad like me that comes from Cavan with no commercial bogs in it and no industry associated with peat, I don't know it. But when I drive down and I see all the straight lines and all the work that was putting into draining those bogs and all the farmland that's now farmable around them, and you see these fucking windmills everywhere and them talking about re-wetting it.
Yeah.
Sure, it's going to turn it into a swamp.
Yeah.
It's going to flood the whole countryside and the farmland is going to disappear.
It's already had.
Of course it is.
When they say re-wet it, what do you do? Just leave it.
Blocking the drains and stopping the water from flowing and basically raise the level of water in the bog so that the bog can naturally have the moisture that it needs to try and regrow over time.
But
That's the principle of a bog. Like.
But that'll take.
It'll take thousands of years.
They want animals back in it and stuff. Now we understand it. I'm not all for it, but like, yeah, the bogs are finished. Let it regrow. They're turning off the pumps. Like they have pumps for pumping the water out to keep the bog dry.
Like the quarry was there?
They're all cut off. Like yeah, like the
Okay,
quarry.
alright.
Yeah, but I think the biggest mistake they made when they shut the bogs was they didn't shut the power plant.
But the power plant was built in the centre
For
of
a
the bog.
bog, yeah.
In the centre,
Yeah.
and all the locals were drawn to it. There's still years of bog left there.
Of course there is.
Now
yeah.
they're drawn to wood chip from Limerick, finds in Limerick
Madness.
with trucks.
Coming from
And
Brazil,
like,
like.
no proper roads to get to it. Like ideally, that
No.
power station should now be in Limerick City, or in Dublin, or beside the port. Beside the port.
Ideally, it should be still burning peat.
Yeah, because it was
There was
here.
nothing wrong with it. It was working.
Yeah.
And
The carbon footprint is probably more now bringing that
Course it
chip
is.
from down
Course
front,
it is.
down
Wood
the world.
chips just smouldering, it's burning away itself.
yeah.
Is there something?
Out in the piles.
Is there? With the heat.
Well, the natural
it's-
heat of the
it's
wood
burning
chip,
itself.
it's decomposing. So when you get it into the power plant, the energy value of it is not as good as when it was
No.
cut.
They're burning a lot more.
There's water tankers out there the whole time putting it out.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
burnt,
They're
yeah.
burning a lot more wood
Did
chip
you ever
to
hear
keep,
done
keep up.
any lad that had bale hay or straw too fresh, and the bale goes on fire? Did you ever hear of a hay shed fire?
Yeah.
That'll be because the heat inside in the bale, because the trapped moisture, the heat increases and the shed combusts. Same principle with the wood chip. There's too much moisture in it.
Yeah.
So it's starting to heat because it's decomposing, and the heat will rise enough that eventually it could cause a
Did
fire.
I hear something? Are they putting something else into because the heat is too much for the chimneys or the furnace? No.
Yeah, to change parts of the power station under because
Yeah.
the wood chip was burning too hot.
And are they putting something else now, an additive in or something? No.
It could well be, yeah.
Someone
yeah.
told me they were drawing
What, to
something.
take down the heat of the furnace?
Something you weren't able to take the heat from
Right.
the. Someone told me they were drawing something else in. But if you add it all up, it's fucking madness what they're doing. Which is the same thing with the sugar factory.
Oh, mental.
Jesus, we the finest one down below
Course,
Mallow,
yeah.
and there was Carlo. The one told us something.
There was one in Tuam as well.
Jesus,
Way back
Christ,
years.
was-
Was there one outside
Not
Longford?
sure, yeah.
that was big
There's
industry.
a lot of them
like,
anyway, yeah.
Big, that was big campaign by the amount of people that employed and everything.
Yeah.
But you'd have to wonder what's the problem. Is it European rule or is it that Ireland are just weak?
They're absolutely. I think they're fucking. They'll go like anything that Europe says you must do. They just goes away.
Yeah.
They don't know a backbone.
Yeah.
But like Ireland's carbon footprint is probably
It's probably more now.
0.0 something compared to the world's.
But it probably is more now since
Yes.
they tried all these stupid
Yeah.
measures.
So what's the
How
cost?
does crack with the cows and fuck's sake?
Farting, yeah.
But the crack with the cows, do away with milk quotas a couple of years back. Straight away, the negative impact of that is, we need more lorries to draw to the co-op, we need a larger processing facility, and we need a larger export market to get rid of the fucking thing. There was mountains of milk powder stored in all the different stores around
butter.
the countries. Butter,
Yeah, butter, yeah.
any product you could make, mountains of it made. And
Every,
like that,
every store house around the country is full of fucking powder.
yeah, but when they let go of the milk quotas from Europe, the Irish farmers were basically told, right boys, borrow all the money you can, buy cows, build sheds, buy farms, expand. A couple of years later then, yeah, probably was a mistake. The water quality is getting fairly poor. Your stocking densities are being reduced. You now can't have as many cows. So you have two choices. You either go down in size, which is not an option because you have money borrowed based on your output.
Yep.
If you reduce your cows, your output is down. Or the alternative is, rent more land. Then you have a fool like me that might say, "Geez, if I could rent a few acres, I might grow a bit more grain for myself."
Yeah.
But I couldn't rent an acre of ground if I tried, because it's too expensive. All the
Yeah.
dairy farms have to rent it because they're backed into a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've bills to pay, like, and they're just.
And they're not never going to get out of it. It's just a
No.
circle.
It's a constant
More
cycle,
rent.
yeah.
But
More bills.
I think now you think there's actually a lot of farmers that say put it out.
Hey,
drop you
They've
off.
no
Very
choice.
mad.
Yeah.
They've no choice.
I think you have to be big. It's gone to factory
Factory,
scale.
yeah.
That's it. The other small fella is gone. He's
Well, the day that there was a fella told me one time, the day you can't milk your own cows is the day you should quit. And a lot of these farms have got to the size now that they nearly need multiple people to work with them. So that man that's the farmer is now not a farmer. He's really only a manager.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
It's gone factory scale.
More or less,
You know.
He has staff to do all the work.
Lad down the road here started milking 500.
Started at 500.
Started off 500.
What is he at now, Stephen?
Oh, it's up thousands more.
Jeez.
Madness.
And they're
Madness.
big rotary, 2 rotaries.
Oh, yeah.
Two.
Yeah.
But does that farmer know his cows? Does he know that
He
this
just-
poor
just-
whore, give her a chance because she's
Just
a
need to
limp.
live up here. We just need to live here.
But you know, a lad like me with a handful of cows, I know them by name. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if she has a limp or if she's a bit flighty, you kind of manage your behaviour around them.
But the day that's gone, like,
But sure,
that
that's
farmer's not
wrong.
going to survive.
That's wrong. Like
Yeah.
the
But
farmer,
it's gone factory. It's gone factory farming.
but doesn't need to be.
No.
It doesn't need to be.
No,
Like
there
if
was
we
on the
all-
radio the other day, they're on about you should be buying your local produce. If people back to buying their local milk and stuff like that,
Where would you get it?
I used to collect
they should open up, farms should open up their shops, what we're talking about a minute ago.
Yeah.
But then we go
Farm
back
shops.
to the cycle of what we're after saying. If you try and open that and all the rules, like even planning permission to do the like of that,
You're up against the wall with that as well.
Mother of divine.
I used to
Jesus.
collect milk in this little place, and it was
You're another
fucking-
milkman, don't you?
I used to collect milk,
Did you? Eh?
and
That's a great job.
It was the neatest little fucking place.
Mm.
Three, just 6 cows at a time.
Stop.
Ah, lad, and it was so clean. It was a lovely yard. His little tractor, everything was just lovely. Little 4,000 mint. The yard was mint.
Many litres would you have?
Just
6 cows, 40 litres.
I think about 250 litres.
That'd be the height of it. Yeah.
250 litres.
2 days.
After 3 days, I think.
3 days.
Do you know? Hi. But it was such. But hi,
He knew the cows by name.
The quality,
Yeah.
the volume was small, but the quality of the milk was unreal.
Yeah.
Because he was paid on the fats and the
course,
protein and everything.
But if he knew a cow was fit to produce a little more, he knew them so well that
But
he knew what to feed
even
them.
the cows inside, they were spotless. I never seen cows.
Hey, I'd say if you went back there now, is he still going?
I think he actually is. I think now.
But what age is he? He's in his
But
the later half of his
his
life.
daughter
isn't he?
was there as well. His daughter was there as well.
But is that a sustainable thing for her to continue with her future? Like if she gets into the rat race, like some of us is where she needs a mortgage or a house, and you go into the bank manager and you say, "I have 6 cows."
Yeah,
The
but
bank manager will tell you, "Get the fuck out."
right, I'd say if you have your own van and everything paid for it, it's all old whitewashed buildings now. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
say there's no payments here. Like.
Yeah. It's like my
And-
father with the FL10, he'd
and
tax
just-
it when he's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd say they'd have a nice little. They'd have enough.
They probably
I'd
have
say.
an income, yeah. But they
Fair
wouldn't
enough.
they wouldn't light the world on fire either. But then I suppose get to a point, what do you want in life? Do you want enough to do you, or are you greedy?
Yeah.
Do you know, it's a hard line to know where to cross and not to cross, isn't it?
Yeah, like they probably don't owe anything. I mean, it's a great thing not to owe anything.
Well, sure, if you owe no money, you don't pay any interest.
Do you know?
That's my thinking, you know.
Like
Like that, I have a small mortgage on the house. Like, don't get me wrong, I do have money borrowed, but I didn't sign myself up for stupid money.
Rope
like.
around your neck for the rest of your life.
it's,
Well,
it's,
like, you
it's
go into
madness.
the...
But what like it's kind of seemed to be no problem now. Like 350,000 is the budget.
Well, it's a kind of the done thing. Everybody else is
Hey,
doing it.
if you're not spending 350,000, you're not building a decent house.
No, you're
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
That's
No, no.
true.
It's like a stigma with that.
The man about the plans.
Aye.
He asked me what size of a house you want to build, and I said, I want to build a house as close to 300,000 as possible, but I don't know if that's realistic nowadays.
Yeah.
And he says, he was doing the maths, he says, let's call it 400.
That's
First
crazy.
meeting,
That's
over 100 grand.
But
Jesus,
that's right.
that's
Sorry,
the
but-
start off.
But
Like.
he's going back to me with plans for a house for 400,000.
Ah, but
So
sure.
I want to go and spend 400,000.
Not at all. What age are you?
33.
33 plus 30 years, 63 years of age to pay for it. Not a fuck.
No,
You'd be off your head.
Is he younger?
Huh?
Younger than you?
no, I'm in 31.
Oh yeah. Oh, poop.
You're at me 30th last year.
Babbies.
No, you're 40th, no? Is that the part of no food?
Yeah, partly no food. He went home. He went home, tick. He didn't even hear the music.
He'd be
He
fucking
came in,
dead right.
looked around. There's no food. This out.
Not as much as a tater sandwich.
He is Cavan blood.
It was a session. It was a session.
Bring your own food. What?
That was that 2 year. Two
years this year,
September.
yeah.
2 year.
And what's the
party?
what's the plan shows-wise this year?
Starting
What's
in Lincoln.
next?
Well, for me, Lincoln anyway. Truckfest in Lincoln.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually no, I don't. I have a thing about English shows. I did Peterborough a good few years. I just not. Just fucking not a big fan of the English shows.
Proper Rama.
Well, I'm not fucking. It's Truckfest. Just I'm not fucking big fan of them now. To be fair.
Well,
There's more Truckfest.
to be straight with you, I'm not a big fan of the Maida, but when you have the volume of people and the volume of lorries,
Yeah, the business.
the Irish market is great, but it's not as large as the English market.
Yeah,
That's the
what you
bone
got
of it.
on the same weekend? The above in.
Cowboys and Heroes
Yeah,
Zone,
yeah.
and the one in Athy, the Retro Truck Show, is the same weekend as well.
Is it?
Yeah,
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 that's
they're all the
Sunday,
same weekend.
Oh, is it?
They're all
The week
same
before,
weekend.
like
Yeah.
Waterford.
Yeah,
Fuck
but
it.
from my perspective, the Retro Show is not the right show for me because the type of lorries that are at
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah,
won't be
yeah.
buying my stuff
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they don't
yeah.
suit the age bracket of the
Yeah,
lorry.
yeah.
And then the one in Cowboys and Heroes, that's a country and music festival.
Aye, but no, it's not a festival.
Is it not?
No, it's a truck show.
It's the Highwaymen and Cowboys.
But is it not incorporating another event that was already there?
No,
No.
that event is on later on.
That's
Oh, I thought it was the same
That's
event.
the June
No,
bank
No,
holiday.
no.
I thought that for a while as well.
Oh, well, then that's my mistake. Yeah.
Yeah, no. And I think they should actually maybe be. We might actually ask the boys to come on to explain.
Yeah.
Exactly
well, look,
what's kind of weekend.
I know people will probably say to me, "Why you're running to England when there's something on at home?" I was committed to going to England before that show was
Yeah,
launched,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
I had
yeah.
my money paid, but
You did a good time there last year.
Did you go? Did
Very
you go to
good.
Peterborough?
no, I was never at Peterborough.
Oh,
no.
didn't you?
Not yet. No. Well, no, sure, not yet.
No,
Sure,
it's
not
gone
going to
now,
be
sure.
They're actually
Oh,
building a housing estate on that showground.
way.
Yeah. That's why it moved.
Fuck it, right.
Jeez, it was some mess last year.
Some carnage to get in, like
Oh,
looking at videos.
Lord Jesus. There was boys came up there or I were set up at the show and they were like, "All right, mate, what time did you get in at?" Do you know these Irish shades? So we were in from the Friday. We sat in traffic for 8 and 9 and 10 hours. They literally
Stop.
sent the whole fucking
No
day to get
way.
into the
To
show.
get in?
Yeah.
Go away.
They had very bad management. They had no police on the books at the showgrounds.
Yeah.
There were too many to pay them.
Yeah.
They didn't know how way it was going to go.
I thought this day and age you actually have to have them. You have to pay. You won't get the
well,
license.
they probably had the minimum, but they didn't have enough.
Right.
And they didn't have
And
enough
what
for the
was
whole
the delay?
influx.
Just
Traffic.
yeah, but
There was it's
to get in?
basically a huge block of ground all in a square, and there's a main road runs on one side of it, but there is another road runs on the northern edge of it and the opposite edge to where the main road is.
yeah.
And they could have diverted some of the traffic into other gates. Like there was 14 or 15 designated entrances onto the showground, but they were using one.
Is
And they
Lincoln
did not have the cop
still
on,
on
they
Peterborough side?
No manpower to open.
They just had no manpower to take money off the patrons. That's what was wrong. They wanted to grab all and let no one in for free. That's what they wanted.
Well,
But
sure.
a good show. It's the first one. Go back to what you said. It's the first one. Then you have what?
Waterford after that.
Waterford is the weekend after. I'll go to that as well. Mondello.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll the bike.
Tipperary.
Edinburgh is in between. Truckfest
Oh,
and
is it?
Edinburgh is in between.
Is that a good show?
It's
Yeah,
a
I was
fantastic-
there years ago.
fantastic show,
It nearly feels a little bit Irish.
Yeah, but there's loads of northern lads at.
And there's actually a flight from Shannon that morning,
Okay.
and there's a flight home that evening.
Well, we actually
So
flew.
we were actually and the airport is where the showground
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we were actually thinking of doing that.
Well, it
because
made more.
accommodation was
It made
mental.
more sense to fly Terns over. So Terns works in Shannon, or is it Ennis? No, he works in Shannon and lives in Ennis, and it made more sense to fly him from Shannon over than it did for him to drive to meet me to come on the boat with me.
Fuck it.
Yeah. That was a
Cheaper.
great job.
Cheaper.
So it's Edinburgh is the first weekend in August, and then you have Tipperary. What's then after that?
That's it.
Drifter.
Drifter style, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the
Did
show.
you do well, Drifter style.
You was all
I
trippers.
was at both years.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
It's a good show.
Tell me, since you have the license and stuff, and
Yep.
you have the thing to show, you go to the shows. How come you never bought a little, say, 7.5 tonner with a bit of accommodation, a bit of a bed, and
Well, we kind of
a show?
investigating that at the minute, done.
We already
yeah.
talked about that
Yeah,
a
yeah.
while ago, yeah.
Well, ideally, what I was thinking of doing was there is a P230 Scania for sale at home close to me. It's not big money. It's a 2011 lorry. I know it from new. There's 500,000 kilometres on it.
Oh my Jesus.
There's a Grey's Adam fridge box on the back of
It's a
it.
fucking slate and all. So
Yeah, if you
it's a
took the
winner.
motor off it and put a new set of doors on the back of it and put an opening side panel on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
your shop kind of deal, and just
Well, if
Like a
you
grassman.
if you
Trevor.
yeah, but if you
Well-
drew a line down the middle of the body, you could have
little accommodation.
one side for accommodation and the
Yeah.
other side for your stock and for your trade stand.
Because it must be a bit of a when you were at a show, you can't really have a drink kind of at the
Well,
thing,
the English
because you have
shows
to go away.
we do hire a
would you-
caravan.
Oh, do you?
We do hire a caravan to come to the show to England or any of the English shows, and then the caravan is right behind your trade stand.
Oh, that's
So
handy.
you can have a drink or you can cook or you can
Oh,
do whatever you
great.
need.
Oh, do
yeah.
you? I didn't know that now.
Well, it was because of you and Linda. I seen you doing it.
So you hire it off the company? Did the company bring it to the
Well, it's
show?
it's a private family own it. They put it up on a thing called Camplify. It's like a
Airbnb. That's
like an
No
Airbnb for
way.
camper vans. Yeah, yeah.
Never heard of this.
It's only an English thing. And you can hire it and they'll deliver it on site, set it up and give you the key.
You don't hold the caravan. You only just.
You'd have nothing to do, only stay in.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great idea, isn't
It's
it?
a great job. And it was you and Linda that I seen at a show with a camper and I said, fuck, that's a good idea.
They're handy.
What were that? now?
I went,
When you seen
oh
it?
no,
Cooking.
do you know?
Was it like the caravan in Father Ted?
Don't come knocking. Huh?
Do you remember that year we were there? We were down below by the lighting tower.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And next thing, lights off. Joking, lad. We turned off. We were powering the whole place. Lad.
Oh, you ran it off.
We ran off the lighting tower.
You're an awful man. It was nearly as bad as us. Me and Conor Fenton went over to the Truck Fest in Wales this year, and it was not a show I'll go back to because this year was the first year of it. It just wasn't a very big show.
Yeah.
But I brought the generator and I brought a few bits, but I brought a lead with me. And myself and Conor went off and got plugs to make up a proper extension. Went round, we found the fucking 3-pin plug on some of the buildings on the showground. Fucking plugged it in, no petrol, no noise, no nothing.
Ideal, isn't it?
But the bastards were looking for £300 off me for an electrical connection.
No
on the show.
way.
Like
Yeah,
if you paid for it, £300 for a connection. Aye, we bought the bits for a fiver.
Cavan again.
Oh,
Cavan
good
again.
job, yeah.
Jeff, I'm amazed with that caravan thing. That's a great idea.
It's a great job, yeah.
None of that in Ireland, is there?
No, I don't think so, no.
Yeah.
I actually booked the same caravan that we had in Lincoln again for this year.
So,
So the one we had last year.
so when you go there, will it be there?
Well, it'll arrive when we get there. You can tell them what time we'll be there at.
So you'll meet them and they'll have the caravan on tour.
They'll set it up, they'll level it, they'll connect the gas, they'll connect your toilet, they'll connect your water. They'll bring you in and say, this is how the shower works, this is how the cooker works, there's your bed clothes. See you Sunday.
And what sort of
No
money
way.
is that for the weekend now?
It's big money.
It is big money,
Is
is
it?
it?
It's about €200 a night. But,
If you're going to accommodation.
yeah, and you have...
Right, but that's getting delivered, getting connected.
Yeah,
you
and it's
to
on
that.
the site.
That's cheap.
It's still cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So it's
still cheap.
£150 a room.
More or less. Yeah.
And there'll be 2 or 3 of you.
And you have
Aye.
to get to and from it.
And
Yeah.
come here, if you didn't have that, you'd pay that anyway for a hotel, and you'd
course.
get taxi.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be near your thing and
you also
your
have
own
no
lunch and-
security.
yeah.
Like, we were our own security for the stuff.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if anyone was messing, you could actually fucking hear them. Like.
Yeah.
You
It
know.
means a lot to be on
Yeah.
site.
And it's
It
handy
does.
just go and get your own food and that there
Yeah.
for lunch instead of going off. You give 20 or 30 quid there
And,
for a lunch. Like,
and it's nice too,
stands.
to caravan. You have your own toilet and your own shower.
Of course,
Yes,
yeah.
oh yeah.
Now,
And if
I
you
know-
have someone, like, the one thing I had to think of in future, if you had someone that wasn't keen about eating fast food, like, let's just say you bring someone with
yeah,
you,
That's
yeah,
the option you have.
some dietary requirements.
Yeah.
You say, right, go in and cook what you want.
Bit like me
Yeah.
and Don, we have dietary requirements.
Yeah, just loads of it.
liquor,
That's
liquor and more liquor.
But can you do that up in Edinburgh as well?
yeah, we got a different one in Edinburgh now. It wasn't as good of a caravan, and it was it was just a different setup, but same principle. Come
Oh,
to it,
right.
set it up.
And
away
how
you
do
go.
you come to find that or know about it?
Pure accident. I just looked it up one day to see caravan hire. Originally, I wanted to hire a motorhome, like a drive one,
Yeah.
thinking it'd be a great job. We could pick it up and drive it. And do you know the way you can see indie campers? Did you ever hear of that company?
No.
There's a crowd
I've
called-
seen ads for.
Yeah, well, I seen a few. You see what do you call the Shannon Pot? Jeez, I'm trying to think of the Quilca Mountains. Do you know in North Cavan and South Fermanagh?
Yeah.
The Shannon rises up there, and there's a Marble Arch caves, and
Yeah.
there's a boardwalk up to the top of the mountain. Have you ever seen that online?
Oh,
No,
No,
I've
no,
seen
no,
that, yeah. I
no.
think I was
It's a-
there
I
as a
haven't-
child even.
Could have
maybe,
been, yeah. It's a fairly big tourist attraction, but we'd see a lot of people from other countries coming across. And you'd see this camper van going through, indie campers written on it, and a big sign on the back of it, hire me, look up the website. So I looked it up, and it was kind of through that I got to know about this, and
Yeah.
just stumbled across a caravan. Another one down.
You see,
Jeez, boys, you've somewhere to them to like.
you you started that business in Ireland now. You'd have the cousins ringing you.
Yeah.
We
How you
got
done?
long term hire.
You're related to me, aren't you?
24 months, please.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me anyway. If I opened up that business.
You've brought out some. No, you boss.
What about yourselves with shows? What are you planning this year?
What we said at the start here was
I'm going
keep
to
it
support-
Ireland.
Yeah.
I'm not going abroad this year.
Yeah.
I'm not.
But like that
asking
now,
or anything.
I might think about going to Edinburgh if you could fly in and out in the day.
Might
Yeah,
be,
yeah.
yeah.
That's- I'd be interested
that's
in.
something. I must see. I can't think. It clashed with something last year. We looked it up, and there was something else on that weekend. I can't think.
Well, it's the first weekend in August this year.
Yeah, that'd be something I'd be interested to go to now.
Hey, but it's not a bad spin either from Carnrain up to
No.
Edinburgh.
No, it
I
wouldn't.
don't know, hour and a half is it or
It's
something?
still 2 hours of a drive, yeah.
Was it 2 hours?
Yeah, but still, if you were to go over to Caravan, drive up to fucking
No,
Larne.
no,
Oh, it's a big
you wouldn't.
spin, lad.
Nah,
Like, can you imagine
fuck
coming
it.
from Kanturk to fucking Larne?
Even what you call
You know.
the cowboys and highwaymen.
Yeah, it's
That
a big spin
weekend,
for you. Yeah.
Not even with the caravan. It's too much of a haul.
What do you do? Will you get accommodation up
We
there?
got accommodation, yeah.
Yeah,
We got
the
accommodation to
house.
fuck
Good.
with. We just got Linda to fucking look.
Had Jenny
up
Hassel
you get?
getting something up there, did you?
some- Linda knows.
Yeah, she
does-
looked after that.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
She
I
does
don't know.
everything.
Paid money for it.
Turn up and pay. Yeah.
We don't know. We only goes with the flow. We tell the women
Dead
what's
right.
happening.
Dead
They-
right, yeah. That's the one good thing about Claire now. She's great at any of that booking accommodation.
Yeah. Oh, she's
Like see Mondello this year mentioned it to Claire the other night. Yeah, we'll sort that. Don't worry. I don't know what she has got, but she will. Like she'll pick
Yeah.
out something and it'll be properly
I'm
set
not-
up. It'll be beside
I'm not
Marie or
allowed to
something.
book any accommodation. Did I ever tell you
Hey.
about that story?
huh?
I went up to the farmer's bash thing in Belfast years ago, and I wanted to surprise her. I was like, I'll book it now myself and land up into the hotel. Stephen Dillon, yeah, I'm not here now. Gave her the date. I was like, yeah, that's the date. I have a reference number stuck there. Oh, yeah, that's next year.
Oh man,
Oh, Jesus.
I was a year early.
I had
Yeah.
I booked it for the wrong years because
Jesus
me and that phone.
Christ.
I
and you had already been. You were there, like
there and all and tickets for farmer's bash tonight. I had to pay an extra. Lost me room.
ransom.
I had that with a flight once.
I booked the wrong times.
No, I got in through. I was sitting on the plane. Next thing, the security came. You're not supposed to be on this flight. I said, sure, I'm sitting in my seat. What do you want? Look, it's for the following year.
You were on the
But
plane and all.
I
like.
was on the plane.
And how did you get through all the check-ins and
Sure,
everything?
they just went
They never
through.
looked at the
Never
date,
looked.
ah,
No,
yeah.
well,
Well,
it
the
scanned
year.
through everything, and then they noticed when they were doing maybe the plan. But I was in a seat, like no one was taking it.
Yeah.
But I had to get off then.
Oh, geez.
I got the guard escort off.
Because you were already through customs
Yeah.
or passport control.
I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
sitting on the seat, and then out. Two of us booked because the lads said, "Oh, the fucking flights are expensive." We were coming home here from Eindhoven. I said, "Yes, mine was only 20 quid for nothing."
You're a year in advance.
Fuck a year in advance.
Oh, Christ.
And like
Did you get the flight following you or not?
yeah,
Did you?
yeah, we used to, yeah.
Oh, you used it.
Because we used to do a thing.
No, you fuckers with cat
it-
blood.
But no, I'm sure I had it. Fuck. We had the AGM, we used to call it. So a group of Irish lads that were living abroad, we'd all come home the first week of December and go on to beer in Dublin Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I had it for the following
Was
year
that when
anyway.
you were at the horses polo, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a question I was to ask you when I came down. I passed a horse box. Two of them actually pulled in lengthways with each other in Mullingar this morning.
Yeah,
And the first horse box, there was a fella inside with two horses. Now, this is behind a Jeep or a car.
yeah.
With a fucking syringe. And he was injecting the horse.
Right,
in the
yeah.
fucking box
Oh,
with
well,
two horses.
That'd be illegal now, but
Aye, but what about the man if he got a kick?
you wouldn't mind that.
Jesus Christ, lad. All I
No,
could see
we wouldn't
was
mind
him
that,
at in and him with the syringe out ready to go.
No, that'd be all right now.
Jesus. No, I thought he was in for a sore leg.
No, to be all right that way. Like it'd be like you getting you twinge a little
Yeah,
bit, but
they
they
wouldn't
wouldn't
kick away, yeah.
I don't know, bad bastard might kick all right. That's all from this week's episode. Tune in to our next episode, where we continue our chat with James Conway. See you then.